Good morning, everybody. Stu Smith here, going live. Hope you guys are well. Today, we are day 2 of the week, Tuesday. So that means we are on our live Q&A session with some CSS critiques going on. But as you guys congregate, what I'm going to chat about real quickly is something I recently discovered called exercise debt. That's what we call it now. Over 100 years ago, a Soviet era psychologist known as Bluma Zeigarnik discovered that what happens with unfinished tasks gets played in a loop inside our brain until they get accomplished, which really adds to a lot of mental energy being wasted, reduction in focus and ability to think creatively at times. So if you have a to-do list, and on that to-do list, for instance, is a 6 a.m. workout, and you skip that workout, your brain is going to keep remembering that you skipped that workout, and it's going to keep just re-triggering. It also often brings just wasted energy and feelings of guilt that are associated with it. So anyway, Zeigarnik discovered this over 100 years ago. We now call it exercise debt. And I just wrote this article after doing a little research on it. um, and it has nothing to do with skipping workouts. It's just one of many things. It's exercise debt is not just skipping workouts. It is everything you put off until another day. Everything you procrastinate on your to-do list is fair game for these constant reminders of unresolved actions. And the unique thing about it is these unresolved actions now become unresolved problems playing in your head. And so it's completely distracting. And really, the only way to get them to be resolved is to actually do them. But here's the beauty part of it is they don't have to be perfect. They just have to be done. And they be honest with you, they just have to get started as well. So for instance, how to stop these, they're called closing the loop because you have these open loops of unfinished tasks in your brain. This article, by the way, just went up on yesterday on military.com in their fitness section. And it's titled Skipping Workouts is an Open Loop That Racks Our Brains. Um, so if you've ever felt guilty of missing a workout, I know I have. If you've ever slept through that early morning alarm and missed a morning workout, you know the thought is intrusive all day long until you go and close that loop. So when you skip a workout, the session doesn't just get forgotten and it just weighs on your mind, mentally distracting you until, you know, creates these feelings of guilt for you. And I know I have experienced this. So I try not to. And the couple of ways I avoid this, because it is completely distracting, is one, don't miss a workout. But two, if you do miss it, do something else at that time slot. So, for instance, a couple of weeks I had COVID. My dad had COVID. He lives with me. I had to take care of him a bit. My workouts got, pretty much shut down, but I still woke up at the same time. I got up, did something, even though it was a walk and some stretching. And I never had those feelings of guilt like I missed these workouts. So there's a couple ways to do that. One, you have what I call floating days off, meaning in a week, I don't recommend working out 7 days a week. You can do something 7 days a week, but it shouldn't be considered a hard workout 7 days a week. You need some off days. So have a floating off day. So set yourself up for 5 solid workouts in a week, maybe a mobility day in there as well. 2 upper body, 2 lower bodies, and a mobility day. If you want to go a little bit extra, do a cardio day somewhere in there as well. But you have this floating day off. So if there's ever a day when you're just not feeling it, your schedule screwed up, you can just say, okay, this is my day off. That means the rest of this week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I make up that day. So I do 5 days. Instead of doing 5 days in a row, I do 5 workouts in 6 days. Or if you need another one, I do 5 workouts in 7 days. That's a floating day off. Something else you shouldn't do is double up. A lot of people miss a workout and then they try to make it up the next day. That's usually a way to just not finish the second workout. My advice is just bump it to the right. You know, if you miss something, just bump it to the right. Or probably the easiest way to do this is do an easy makeup. So for instance, let's say you have a workout, it typically takes you an hour, but you only have time for 20 minutes. Go do 20 minutes. And that will help you close that loop. Even though it is not finished, it is not a perfect workout as you would have described it. It is at least completed. The task is complete and it doesn't play circles in your brain. So that's how I would stop the loop. So if this is something that bothers you, try it out. Try some of these little helpful tips to break free from that cycle of exercise debt by closing these loops and not ignoring them, because it can become a chronic stress event if you just leave these open loops unattended and unresolved. All right. Yep. Don't let perfect be the enemy of good. 100%. I agree. Let's see. Got a few questions over here. Let's see. Today I'm going to show some live critiques of CSS. So we'll do some swim critiques today. How can I lower my 1.5 miles for my PST? I want to auto-qual. My advice is I have a workout week for you. If you're just trying to auto-qual this thing and focus on the PST, focus on the PST. Focus on these events. It's a 1-week challenge that you do for 4 weeks. Okay, PST. It's a classic week. Let me see if I can find that article. Okay, here it is. 1-week challenge. Kill the PST in 4 weeks. So here's what I want you to do. This is free, folks. Free gift. Now, I do have these where it's 16 weeks of workouts, that you could do. But this is a free one. And I'm going to put it in the comment section over here on YouTube. You can just click it. I'll put it over here in the comment section on Instagram. And I want you to just see the title. The title is 1 month PST challenge, kill the PST in 4 weeks. So read that because it has everything in it. It has the swim, the pull-ups, the push-ups, the sit-ups, the run, and the run is in there. So if you're having a hard time with getting better at running, you could also do the running program that helps you get to and through selection. Now, it is a 20-mile-a-week program that has everything in it from goal pace running, sprints, and some zone 2. And it will help you build up that 1.5 miles. But the biggest thing is this. A lot of people don't know how to train for the 1.5 miles after having swum and done pull-up, push-ups, and sit-ups. There's a transition process that you need to learn. So look up the term PST transition, Stu Smith, if you want. Put my name in there, and you will see Actually, the PST Clinic has it explained in it. I'm going to give this one, I'm going to send this one to you as well, because once again, you're not just running a mile and a half. You're doing 5 events before you run a mile and a half, which is different because your body's pumped up with all this blood from doing reps. You're a little bit tired. You'll probably burn some glycogen out of your muscles and blood sugar. So you're probably a little bit low on fuel. So there's some strategies you need to understand that you need to do to have better run times at the end of a PST. So it's more than just say, hey, go do some goal pace runs and some zone 2 to get better at a mile and a half. It's a bigger problem than just running faster. It's a fueling issue, it's a timing issue, it's a transition from one event to the other. What do you do in that 10-minute window before the run? That's a big question. You read those articles, you'll find out. So check those out. Hey, Mr. Smith, what's a good time would you say to finish the PT pyramid in? I do one with dips, pull-up, push-ups, and sit-ups in just under an hour, trying to gauge fitness. That's fine. As long as you can do it, that's great. I don't like timing my workouts unless it's a run and I need a time. But what happens if, I say, hey, we're going to try to do this workout in 30 minutes, everybody to the person's doing crap reps, and that's not really helping you. So do good reps, full range of motion, top, bottom. Don't be doing these half push-ups and calling them a push-up. But yeah, I mean, we'll do a 110-1 with 400-meter runs every set. So you get almost 5 miles of running, and that takes us an hour and 15 probably. So once again, I don't really care how long it takes you. Just get it done. I will say some of our faster guys that are getting ready to ship out can probably do that one in about an hour, hour 5. Let's see. Somebody says, hello, I trust you're feeling better. I am. I had COVID 2 weeks ago, feeling much better. Actually working out now, back to normal. Not as congested as I was. So, all right. So, Stu, I had to get my 4-mile run in at 3 a.m. Arizona time. Yeah, I imagine you're probably pretty hot over there. What about dispersing one missed workout across multiple days? Say I miss a workout with 3 500-yard swims. Can I add one to the following day? Yeah, that's another way to do it. You can do that. My only thing is be careful with that because depending on what you're doing the next day, it could interfere with that. If you're going to be in the pool anyway, yeah, sure. Say, hey, I missed this 500 cool down. Let's add it to tomorrow's mileage. And then, at the end of the week, you have accumulated all of the necessary mileage and meters when it comes to running and swimming. That's a good way to do it. Just if you're, put it this way, if you're like doing an upper body day and you miss bench press, probably don't want to go add it to a leg day the next day. Just going to add more of an issue for you than anything. But if you can, great. If not, don't sweat it so much and try to get it done. Try to replace it with something else. Let's say you're doing a workout and it says bench and you don't have a bench. Do more push-ups. Maybe do a weight vest push-up instead. All right, looks like I answered all these questions over here. How important is it to alternate sides of the CSS? Well, I will say this. I had this question this weekend. In fact, this is a good segue to go on to showing some videos. It's up to you. I would say it is important to learn both sides just because you never know. You may have to take a test where you have to do both sides. It's not a written rule, but every now and then some instructor will say, I want to see you facing me the entire time, and they're on the side of the pool. So that means you got to change sides every 25 yards or 50 if it's a long course. That kind of sucks, especially if you don't know how to do that. um, the other one is uh, with fins, you definitely need to learn how to change both sides because you're going to be in the water for so long. A 500-yard swim, if you do it right, you're out of there in 8-9 minutes. Not a big deal to learn both sides for balance. It's not long enough to get you super tired. Um, but when you're swimming a mile, 2 miles, you definitely want to um, focus focus on both sides when it's a little bit longer because you need to switch it up. All right, so let's do this. One more question on swimming. I can swim only 50-meter freestyle right now. Then I get tired. I can't float in the water for 10 minutes. Is it possible for me to learn CSS and become a Navy SEAL? Yes, but give yourself some time because all of that takes time to get good at doing. You got to swim 4 or 5 days a week. You know, you got to get in swimming shape. You got to learn how to swim the CSS because right now freestyle's wearing you out for 50. That's okay. I will tell you this. I've had sub 5-minute mile runners who tried to start learning how to swim. So they're great cardio animals, but they get winded with a 50-meter swim and they were just baffled by it because they'd worked so hard to be a great runner. But guess what? Running shape is not swimming shape. And you got to learn a technique. Otherwise, you're just working too hard and you're going to get really winded. So take your time. Don't be in a rush to join. If you've already joined, then you know you're kind of on their timeline now, and you may have to do a lateral transfer later in the Navy. Yeah, I'm not sure what your story is, but if you're talking to a recruiter right now and you can't pass the PST, you're way ahead of the schedule. Like you're on that recruiter schedule now, not your own. So you can't control your own destiny. So my advice to everybody is don't even talk to a recruiter until you're crushing that fitness test. That's going to save you so much stress of being in the delayed entry program and having a month to pass the PST. Because if you don't pass the PST, guess what? You're not going to Buds or SWIC or dive school. So don't do that to yourself. It's your fault if you do it. All right, so let's show some CSS critique, shall we?
All right, kick off the wall.
What do you guys see here? We got two guys, so I want to show you something because the bottom guy, if you notice, doesn't do a breaststroke pullout. Watch the top guy. He does this breaststroke pullout and just stops right there. But they're both kind of stopping off the wall. Notice how, like, normally the guy who's not doing the breaststroke pullout doesn't stop. But what I'm trying to do here is prevent people from losing momentum right here, like right here. Like you see that? Like they just stop dead in the water. You don't want to do that. You want to try to kick off that wall, keep some momentum going, and when you come up ready to breathe, you're pulling yourself and breathing at the same time, so you're still moving forward when you're breathing versus popping up and just stopping right there. And both of them do that. The first one does it just because he's kind of popping up his head to breathe. The second one does it because if you notice that double arm pull, see all that back broaching the surface here? That is like putting on the brakes in swimming. It's like a submarine coming up to the surface and plowing the water. A submarine is faster underwater than it is up on the surface, right? Surface tension is the reason. You're creating surface tension right there. The reason why he loses it is he goes down a little too deep. He's a little too deep. See how his angle's kind of going down? That's also a streamline issue. Shoulders are tight. So when he kicks off that wall, he's gliding like this. Where do you think that's going to take him? Right? Straight to the bottom. Whoop. Just like a dive plane. So, and then when he pops up, he has to pop up to breathe. And that just, anytime you pop up, you quit moving horizontally. So that's a big one. And I got 2 for 1 right there and show you how to not, you don't want to lose momentum out of this. I'll show you some videos here of some guys that aren't losing momentum. You can see what I'm talking about. So top arm, bottom arm, kick and glide, top, bottom, kick and glide. The bottom guy, if you notice, he's trying to get out of his elementary side stroke method. Watch this. Boom, right into the, see, he wants to glide here. He wants to glide in this position, not this position, right? That's the glide position in the CSS. This is the glide position in the elementary side stroke. So there's 2 different methods to do this. Both are legal strokes to do. I've just seen faster CSS times over the years. Kick and glide. So top arm, bottom arm, kick and glide. See how he wants to skip that glide? So we're trying to get him out of the habit of skipping the glide. So right there, he's skipping the glide. But the guy up top, it's got a good glide. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, pull. There you go. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, pull. There you go. All right, so let's do another one, shall we? All right, not sure what's happening here. I might have to stop sharing and then come back in here. All right. Any other questions over here? No. How important? Nope, no more questions, huh? All right, so let me do this. I'm gonna go back to my videos and show you guys a couple more videos about the elementary side stroke version.
Bottom arm, kick and
All right, so you
glide.
guys
There
can
you go.
see this, right? All right, so let's kick off the wall. Top arm, bottom arm, kick and glide. Oh, let's count the glide. 1 Mississippi, 2. 1 Mississippi, 2. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. Ah, he's trying. 1 Mississippi, 2. Ah. So anyway, as you can see here, there's no glide. And if there is a glide, it's a little bit of one here in this position. So I timed to 50 on him here. And this is a meter pool, so it's 54 yards. He did like 57 seconds, so it's not horrible. Probably going to be in the 9:30 range, probably, for a 500-yard swim. Top arm, bottom arm. Kick, hold the glide. Oh, come on, hold the glide. We got to get you to hold the glide. All right, let's see what else we got. Man, some reason my transitions out of one video to the other is not happening. Let me see. No more questions here yet. All right, so I'm just going to keep showing these videos. Wanted to show you. I think this was a really good one. Oh, okay, let's just. Did I do? Yeah, I did CSS with fins already. Let's see what this one is. All right. All right, one more shared screen here, or maybe 2 more. Okay, so we're going the opposite direction with these 2 guys. Let's see what it looks like. All right, so kick off the wall, double arm pull. Nope. Yep. Did he take out the double arm pull up top? Let's see. Nope. See that broach right there? Just stops him dead in his tracks. Top arm, bottom arm, kick and glide. That's better. Notice he's trying to hold that glide out a little longer. Top arm, bottom arm, kick and glide. The other guy's up top's got a pretty good one. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, pull. Boom. Down the bottom, he's 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. Almost. Okay. Oh, going round trip. Let's see what happens here. Oh, we got added a double arm pull on the bottom guy. Did you notice that one? Top arm, bottom arm. Yeah, so here's the deal. My advice is this. Notice how he is kicking, or I'm sorry, he's pulling that top arm, but look, where is his head? His head's still underwater. I like to pretend I have a string tied to my nose and my hand. So when that hand pulls, it pulls my face right out of the water. So now I go right into the bottom arm breathe portion, whereas he's kind of holding that bottom arm out there in a half glide portion. And then he turns and does the pull of the other arm. Okay. Let's see what else we got here. I think I have one more. Oh, I think I have an over under video I wanted to show you. Sorry, this is one of those videos.
As you can
It's
see
over
here,
under with a commercial.
what you want to do is swim
So there's
underwater
phase 1, phase
for
2
25
workouts.
yards.
So this
as
over
efficient
under
through Smith
workout
here.
right here
Another
is a kick off the
critique,
wall,
but this is of a
double arm
workout
pull,
called the
kick and
over-under.
glide.
And as you can see here,
Double arm pull,
what you want to do is swim underwater
kick and glide.
for
And if you
25
notice, he's
yards
doing a scissor kick.
as
Now, if
efficient
you wanted
as
to, you could
possible.
do
That
a
means in as few
breaststroke kick
strokes
here.
as possible.
Do whatever works
And
best for you.
Just want to kick glide,
But you do
pull
a
glide,
25-yard
glide,
underwater,
and then you can
and
turn
then
around,
try not to hit the
come
guy
back,
who's also swimming.
swimming freestyle, or you
And
can
then
do
you do a
CSS.
25-yard
And the goal is
freestyle or CSS. It's
to
up
do
to
this in a minute 30
and
interval.
you do this
So that
workout
means you probably get back in about 50, 60
every
seconds.
minute
You got
on
30
the minute.
seconds rest.
It's a good little workout to where you focus on just the intervals of a minute and a half. You do this over under workout every minute and a half. Shoot for 5. If you can go for 10, go for it, and see how you do. Don't do it alone, though. Never swim. You shouldn't swim alone at all, but you shouldn't swim underwater alone, especially. People die every year doing that. Let's see. Sailor says, I joined as a sailor in my country's navy. I just get a chance. Okay, so you're different countries, different. My answer is different for you as far as recruiter and all that we mentioned earlier. Just get a chance to swim for 2 days once a week. Trying my best to learn the CSS, but not improving much. But I'm determined to become a Navy SEAL. I'm not rushing. Can you share effective tips to learn? Yeah, all those links that I just shared, get those, right? If you're really wanting to master these type of PSTs right here, pull up, push up, sit up, swim, and run, that Navy PST workout is focused specifically on it. And take your time and crush those weeks. Todrick says, Morning Stu, I'm on week 12 of your spring training program. I'm seeing positive results in my running. Isn't where it should be right now. When I finish the book, should I redo the book or move on to something else? My advice is this. Send me an email with all your scores, right? Your run, your swim, your calisthenics. There might have been some lifting in there too. What your body weight bench is, your weighted pull-ups are, things like that. Send me those scores, and then we'll figure out what's next and what your timeline is, because all of that kind of matters. What your athletic history is, because if you're a strength athlete, probably don't need to go on a lift cycle, probably just need an extended cals and cardio cycle. But if you're not much of a runner, you might need another cycle of running. I don't know. It just depends. There's no one answer for it. And your question is fairly generic. What length and type of rope should I get to practice with underwater knots? I usually get, I don't know, rope about this big, 18 inches. I usually get some hemp rope. I just go to the hardware store and we cut a whole bunch of knot tying lines and practice. About 18 inches. Yeah, that'll do it for you. Don't need to buy them expensively off the internet. Just get some hemp rope. Don't get the synthetic plastic kind. Get actual hemp rope. That'd be good for you. Let's see. Bangladesh Navy, Special Warfare and Diving Salvage. It's a screening test similar to the U.S. Navy. Cool. That's cool, man. Well, good luck. Yeah, my advice is get on that program. And if you need those tips like you asked, just look at the links I put in the comment section above. Click all those links and read them, and you'll see workouts that will help you get all of those. And if you're trying to learn the CSS, nothing quite like the CSS help series article that I have here. It's got links to everything that goes wrong: your glide, your kick, your pull, your breathing, the sequence of the stroke, because a lot of people think they're doing the CSS, but they're doing the elementary side stroke. They don't know the difference. So read that article, and that will help you break down the stroke in its most basic form. Let's see. Looks like we answered all the questions. Oh, all right. Yep. All good. Okay. So, folks, I'm going to cut it short today just because I got a busy day and I got to go. So check out stewsmithfitness.com. Tons of articles over there. Every one of those links I just sent are from that website. You can search them, you can find them, read them, copy them, paste them, and it will help you. Regardless, whatever that is, everything from mental toughness training and never quit mindset to actual specific workouts for whatever you're doing. And if you got a lot of time and you want to train for the next 2 or 3 years, the seasonal tactical fitness periodization system is a great way to do that, because every season you do something a little bit different, focus on a primary, secondary goal, and you leave no weaknesses ignored. I think that's probably the biggest mistake most people make in this training, is they just ignore their weakness. They double down on a strength and they don't even consider, oh, maybe I should do more pool skills and do some treading. Maybe I should put on a pair of fins and swim with fins. Yeah, you should. All right. I have an article on there about runs and weekly mileage. In fact, I posted it up in there. So look up some of the links in there called the running plan 20 fast miles a week. Check out that article. You can definitely see what kind of runs are in our training weeks. But it's up to you on how many miles. In fact, I've answered that question, especially pre-buds. How many miles a week before buds should you get? Answered it. It's in the article. Go check it out. stewsmithfitness.com. Check out the programs. Check out the articles. Lots of other stuff over there as well. All right, guys, I got to go. Sorry to cut it short. I'll be back next week. Actually, I'll be back this weekend, and we'll do a Never Quit Mindset podcast. It was a good one last week. You can check those out. They're up on YouTube channel. So I'll see you later. Have a good one.